This is Rock Talk with Mitch LaFon. Mitch LaFon.
Welcome to this episode of Rock Talk with Mitch LaFon. And what could be better than a Tuesday morning with some pirate metal? Before we get over to Alestorm, do check out loudtracks.com/Mitch to get all your Mitch merch. And, of course, if you want to donate to the show, PayPal is mitchminute@aol.com. And with that, I feel like I'm going to rob you like pirates. So here is the one, the only, Alestorm. Aye, mateys. Oh, I can't believe I just did that. Here's Alestorm. We are speaking with Alestorm's Christopher Bowes. Chris, the band is on tour, coming to Montreal, Quebec, and other great places. As we say here in Montreal, bonjour, comment allez-vous?
I'm great. How's it going?
Yeah, good, right?
As you can tell, my French is completely dreadful, but, you know, I get the idea.
But you get the idea, yeah. So all right, let us talk about pirate metal, because you have played in and around Montreal for many years, and it is always a great event. In fact, here you're playing at the Metallica, and for people listening around the world, you think, oh, well, that's a small little bar. No, it's not a small little bar. It's 2,500 people.
It's big, yeah, isn't it?
Yeah, which is big, and it's amazing. So talk to me about this, because you look at the concept, you look at the songs, and you say, there's no way in God's green earth that this is supposed to work, and yet it works. And it grows, and the fans love it. So let's talk Alestorm, let's talk its origins, and let's talk this tour.
So yeah, it's the whole thing of, I don't know how it gets so popular. It's pretty crazy, the amount of people that come to our shows. You know, it's something about Montreal, and obviously Montreal has often a very sort of European style fan base. Like, they always seem to like the kind of bands that are big in Europe, and I guess that does, because, you know, in North America, no one really likes us. I mean, we get by, you know, we do all right. We have a few hundred people come to the shows, but when we get to Quebec and stuff, it's like we're playing some crazy festival in the middle of a field in Europe, and millions of people come to see us. So I don't know if it's just fun, catchy, sing-along music that does it, or, you know, it's maybe our sense of humor just transcends borders, but I love it.
Yeah, well, of course, and your Twitter doesn't help. I mean, on your Twitter it says shit band, no fans. Right?
Yeah, we take a sort of that sort of attitude to things. You know, we're not very we don't take ourselves too seriously. I'm sure you can realize.
I can realize. All right, so go ahead. All right, or don't go ahead. I'll go ahead.
Oh, hello, no, yeah, you go ahead. You go ahead. Sorry.
Well, all right. So talk to me about this concept, because, you know, you're sort of sitting around, you know, school when you're younger, and you're putting together heavy metal pirates. And how do you sort of get this concept that in the modern day world of technology and all this, that we are going to have a band sing almost uniquely about pirates?
It was totally accidental. We just, you know, like we started as a band as a bunch of teenagers in high school, and I just wrote a song about pirates one day. You know, I was writing songs about whatever, you know, like ninjas, space battles, pirates, Satan, you know, anything that's cool, you know. And at the time, I'm still a bit of a dork who likes video games, and I really enjoyed this pirate video game called, like, Sid Meier's Pirates, and I love that stuff. And, you know, the whole pirate thing I thought was cool, so I just wrote a song. And then, you know, we go to the rehearsal and we just play the song, and then we realize, hey, pirates are kind of fun. Let's just always sing about pirates. And it all just kind of spiraled out of control from there. And, you know, it was never a conscious decision to go, you know, people will love it if we sing about pirates and stuff. Yeah, it just happened. And, you know, so we don't really understand, but, you know, we're very happy about it, just singing songs about pirates. But that's kind of part of the reason why we don't take the whole pirate thing too seriously, because it was never something that was a deep down spiritual connection or anything. We just thought, oh, cool, pirates are fun. So, which, I don't know, sometimes it backfires, and people get they get a bit sad when we don't take piracy as seriously as they do. Like, you know, you get guys in these fully authentic 17th century costumes coming to the shows and saying, ahoy, matey Chris, let's hornswoggle some booty off the poop deck. And I was like, nah, I don't think I want to do that. But, you know, for the most part, it's just that, really.
So you mean you don't have your Facebook set to pirate language? Because you can do that, you know.
You know how many times a week we get people saying, hey, guys, do you have your Facebook set to pirate? You know, you should try that. Wow. It's like, no, we don't.
No, we don't. But all right, so let's get a little more serious, though. In terms of the band musically, because you do have this unique thing that you've created. Do you at some point feel that you're sort of trapped in it and you would like to get out there and just do something that's, I don't know, more cerebral, more rock and roll, more metal, or do you just saying, hey, this is our gig, we're just going to stick with our gig, or do you want to be, and I'm not saying you're not serious musicians, but you know what I'm saying is, do you want to be sort of more Metallica-ish or more, Rolling Stone-ish or Leonard Cohen-ish?
Well, that's the thing, what did Metallica even sing about? I mean, you look at their lyrics, it's just stuff. Like, if you ask someone, what is Metallica's lyrical themes? It's probably just darkness, hate, emotions. Like, I don't even know what that is. I'm not a very, I've tried in the past to write, I'm going to write a cerebral, serious song about my feelings and stuff. And I've sat down and I've got absolutely no idea what to do. I'm like, I don't really have these sort of feelings about stuff. I just want to write dumb songs about pirates and stories. And it's kind of nice having the restriction of having to make everything fit into pirates. It's because once you give yourself restrictions, it almost like it opens up creativity, because once you've got the constraints set, everything else can just flow and go in crazy places. And it's good because we can write a song that's anything, any style. Like, it doesn't have to be a folky metal song. We've got a lot of stuff that's a lot more sort of thrashy, crazy, sort of punky songs. Some just basically pop songs. But as long as we hook it back into pirates somehow, people seem to accept it and go, "Yep, that's an Alestorm song. It's about pirates." So it's kind of liberating in a way, just being able to do what the hell we want. But as long as the song somehow comes back to a ship or drinking rum or a guy with a wooden leg, it's all good.
Those are the great three themes that you learn about in music school. No Grave But the Sea is, of course, the name of the tour, and also the last album, which came out in 2017. Where are you in terms of getting the next new one out there, and how important is it to get a next new one out there?
Yeah, I think we've sort of reached this point in our career where it's like, yeah, an album every 3 years sounds about right. We don't want to be one of these bands that's turning out an album every 12 months, because, I know when I was younger and used to go to a lot of shows, I would go and see bands that I liked. But, obviously back then the internet wasn't so pervasive in downloading stuff and getting a hold of media. And I'd go to these shows and it turns out they've released like an album or two albums since I last saw them that I hadn't heard. And in the whole set list are all these new songs. And I just go, oh, I don't know these songs. That sucks. So it's we try and obviously the whole part of the Alestorm show is a lot of sing along from the audience. So we want people to be very, very familiar with our music. So, we're not so much into playing unreleased material or weird, rare B-side tracks. But anyway, going back to the whole thing is, we think for every 3 years is probably fine for an album. So on that note, we are going to the studio in January. We've got an album that's 97.5% completed. Just got to write a few more riffs here and there to finish off one song, literally one song. And we're going to record it in January, and it's going to come out early summer. And, yep, the whole thing will happen all over again. Tours and videos and nonsense and albums and festivals and party.
It never ends, which is great. Quickly talk to me a little bit about your experience here in Montreal. You have played Heavy Montreal, which is our great festival. Talk to me about that and some of the crowd reaction for Heavy, because it really is unique and hopefully it will continue into the 2020s.
Yeah, it's such an amazing festival, Heavy Montreal, because it's there's a lot of people try to put on things like metal festivals in America and Canada and so on that they don't quite hit the mark for some reason. You just don't get that right feeling. But like Heavy Montreal, it has that sort of same feeling you get at all these great big, famous festivals from like France and Germany, like Grass Pop and Hellfest and Wacken and stuff. All these big famous international metal festivals. There's a certain vibe you get there, and I feel like at Heavy Montreal you do get that sort of same vibe. Like, this is a big party and there's all this cool stuff going on. So I really loved the 2 times we've been there, and it's just a really nice festival, especially when the weather's usually pretty good. The place is nice, the people are beautiful. It's a fun place to be, and the crowds go crazy for us at least. So it always makes us happy to go there. Yeah, I really hope it does continue, and like maybe if that same concept could expand to more festivals across USA and Canada, it'd be great.
Well, and it's a perfect festival for you because it's on an island, so you could probably just boat it in. But
yeah,
right. Real quick, in terms of imagery, talk to me about the importance of the imagery, because yes, it is a pirate thing, but how important is the visual aspect to your show? When you look at an Alice Cooper or a Kiss or a David Bowie, it really sort of enhanced the music. How conscious of you are our visual presentation?
Yeah, our live show is strange, I suppose. Again, it's not what you'd think for a band that sings about pirates, because we have a giant 8-foot-tall inflatable duck in the middle of the stage, which has absolutely nothing to do with anything. We just thought it'd be funny one day, and it's kind of stuck with us, this giant duck. And so that is basically the Alestorm show, is just us being on stage, playing our asses off, running around having a great time, with a giant duck behind us, and people seem to absolutely love it. We've thought at times, wouldn't it be cool if we just, I don't know, got this big, complicated stage set with all this like wooden stuff and it looks like a ship. But at the end of the day, I think people just prefer the giant duck. So that's Alestorm now.
Great. We can do some duck stuff. Real quick, the band has also changed members over the years, and there is sort of that rotating door, not a huge one like a Kiss or something, but talk to me about changing the members, and why do some leave and get these other ones in terms of, do they just don't fit, they don't dig the pirate thing anymore? And just talk to me about what sort of keeps the band being Alestorm.
Well, I think ever since 2015, that's the last time we did member change. That's, the band has been constant since then, and that's, we've been so, I think we're very happy right now in the lineup. No one feels annoyed or unhappy. The main thing is everyone can play their instrument, which is very exciting. I think we're pretty stable now. I mean, everyone always says that, but it's been 4 coming on 5 years since we've ever changed a member, so I think we're doing good now. But yeah, like the early days of the band, I think the problem was we sort of got too popular too quickly, and we went straight from being a local band who was playing a couple of shows in pubs to signed to an international label and going on tours and festivals and things instantly. And it just, it took off faster than anyone would have expected. And basically, a lot of the guys in the band, they weren't really cut out for that sort of lifestyle. Like, that wasn't really what they wanted from their life, which is fair enough. It's not for everyone. It's a pretty miserable existence a lot of the time, getting on planes and buses and vans and just being very bored and then hungover 99% of the time, and waiting for that, 1 hour a night where you get to have a party. So it's obviously some people just didn't simply want that lifestyle, and it, people quit the band, or also some of us in the early days, we sucked at our instruments. That never helped. So that's the main thing that's changed, is the band we're a bit more talented now. I think we can all play our stuff. It gets a lot more professional, and everyone wants to be there, which is the main thing. It's everyone's happy with what they're doing. Everyone wants to be on this tour and make this stuff happen. So it's a lot more stable in that respect. And
all right, so let me bring you back then to the beginning. When you put out Battle Heart, Terror on the Seas, but then you eventually get to the record company and you say, listen, we're going to do a full length record. We're going to do Captain Morgan's Revenge. Talk to me about bringing that concept to a record company and having them, having Napalm Records listen to you and go, you're going to do what? How tough of a sell was it? Because, to come in with a thrash album or a pop album, they go, oh, okay, we get it. But you're coming in with this new concept. Was it difficult to convince a record company to be on board?
Like I say, those demos you're talking about, we did them in the summer of 2006, and we sort of did nothing with them for a year. But then in 2007, we thought, we should probably do something. This band has potential. So I took the demos. I think it was just we had a MySpace link, was what we had, and I emailed that to a guy at Napalm Records, because I was like, oh wow, Napalm Records, they've got all our favorite bands, because right at that time they had Corpiclani, they had Tear, they had a couple of these, the sort of the big names in folk metal. A lot of them are on Napalm Records. It's like, well, that's our sort of target audience. So we sent them this demo, like a link to our MySpace saying, hi, this is our band, are you interested? And we literally got a reply within 24 hours saying, yes, we want to sign you. And obviously at the time, I didn't really know how anything worked in the music industry, so I assumed that was normal. I thought every band got a reply in 24 hours saying, yes, we'll sign you. So I just thought the whole thing was easy. It just happened. They obviously saw the potential in what was going to happen with this band. They understood that, we were onto something there with our shitty 3-track home-recorded demo. And Yeah, they just gave her the deal and a whole pile of money and said, go crazy, make an album. And we thought, okay, I guess this is how music works. But obviously it's not. Well, I've since learned that that's not the usual course of action for most bands. And usually there's a long, hard struggle to get anywhere. So, yeah, we had no idea what we were doing. And this shit just sort of falls in our laps. We're like, okay.
That's amazing, because it really is not how people spend, they spend decades sending in demos and nothing goes in. So, talk to me a little bit about that recording process of the first one. So you get the deal. They say, yeah, we want to sign you. And then you must have gone, oh, shit, now what? Talk to me about that time and the now what.
Yeah, so we had that. And then our guitar player at the time, Gavin, he knew this guy called Lasse, some German dude who produced his albums. And we're like, hey, this guy, he's a friend of ours. He'll do the production, whatever. He's going to do it for like literally pennies. It was, sub minimum wage type money we were paying this guy to do this album. And they were like, okay, he'll do the album, sure. So we go to the studio, and it's me and our guitar player Gavin go over there. Our drummer Ian wasn't actually good enough to play the songs, so we had to get a session drummer. This is going back to that thing where we're saying we weren't very good. We got a session drummer to play the drums on the album because he couldn't play them. I think our producer played the bass because our bassist wasn't very good and also couldn't make it to the studio. The songs were only half finished when we got there. I'd never really sung before on record, and we were playing in this studio while our producer it was still under construction. Like, it was bare concrete floors. We were sleeping on the concrete in sleeping bags. It was the most ramshackle thing ever, but obviously at the time I thought it was the most amazing thing, because this is a record label had flown us to Germany to this guy's place to professionally record an album. We were like, wow, we're in the future. And the whole thing kind of sucked. I mean, I was never that happy with the final recording, just because we didn't really know what we were doing. My vocals were very bad because we had a session drummer who had never heard the songs. He was just literally being told, okay, here's the tempo of the song, play a beat. And he was playing stuff, and we were just sort of splicing this whole record together. And it was absolute chaos. And all the keyboards sounded weird and cheap because at that time we couldn't afford to get real people to play them. So it was all just like cheap MIDI instruments and things. And yeah, somehow it took off and people loved it, even though I thought it was a pretty awful album. But I have no taste, so. Yeah,
it's just amazing because, again, you hear the story of this album and you're thinking, this is the band that should just not have succeeded. You should have just imploded before it even got off the ground. And yet, and I'm speaking from the Montreal perspective, like I said, at Heavy Montreal and Metallica and other places, it is packed. People are laughing. People are smiling. People are singing along. They're dressing up like pirates. It really is an event. I mean, it's not just a show, it's an event. Quickly then, No Grave But the Sea, of course, was the last one. Talk to me a little bit about that one and moving forward with the new one, which we've already talked about. Other than the pirate themes, musically, do you want to do something different? Do you want to try new recording style, new drum style, new thrash metal style? Like, do you want to musically change what you're doing a little bit?
Well, you see, we always like to move forward with things. This time we're recording it in Thailand because we can. Just thought we'd go somewhere nice and warm to make it because it's January. We've got some new ideas in here. I've got a couple of friends to help me write some songs and really, get some new ideas into the mix. We're going to have a few guest vocalists and instrumentalists, some famous, some completely unknown. There's probably going to be a couple of songs that will make people go, what the fuck is this? We've definitely gone very experimental on a couple of songs, and it could backfire. People might call us sellouts. We'll see. And there is also going to be a sequel to a part 2 of a song from one of our previous albums, and it's absolutely the song you would least expect us to write a sequel for. So there's a lot of, but we're still going to keep with the classic Alestorm sound, but there's going to be some new things and some very surprising things, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Is it part 2 to Fucked with an Anchor?
No, it's almost as unlikely as that.
Because that would be a good part 2. But anyway, it's just amazing. Congratulations on all the success. Because even just listening to you say we're going to do something experimental, you're like, experimental pirate metal. What the fuck? But it's great. It is just it's great. I love it. I love the whole thing. You know, continued success. Looking forward to seeing you in Montreal. It is just the most brilliant thing ever. And Chris, as we say here, merci beaucoup, and I'll translate for you. That's thank you very much.
That much I could guess.
Oh, okay, well let's do that again. Then merci beaucoup. But no, it's gonna be great, and I love that. I love that a band like yours is successful because we need fun in rock, and we need fun in metal, and we just need fun in life. And Alestorm, if anything, is fun. You know, that's
the main thing. We're here to have fun. And thank you very much. And I'll see you in Montreal, I hope.
Yes, absolutely. It's going to be great. And tell us, merci, monsieur. Cheers.
Cheers, buddy. Bye bye.
You're listening to Rock Talk with Mitch LaFon. Rock Talk.